Welcome to my presentation of Entrepreneur Reflections Navigating My Learning Odyssey. My name is Freddy. Let's get started. Let's begin with my initial understanding of creativity. So at the start of the unit, I associated creativity mostly something artistic, sort of something spontaneous, like how a lyrics come to a musician's mind, how you have to be born with creativity perhaps. But in Sprint 1, I learned that creativity is much broader than that. It is a way of solving problems in a human-centered and strategic manner. So through the creative type quiz, I discovered I'm the original thinker, someone who values fresh ideas and deep thinking. My thinking style, the strategist, means I prefer to plan and analyze first. Now I see how structure can support creativity instead of limiting it. This combination has shaped how I now approach learning, group work, and innovation. So about embracing diverse perspectives, Sprint 2 really opened my eyes to the powers of diversity. During our group activities and peer interviews, I noticed how different perspectives led to a more inclusive and well-rounded ideas. It wasn't just about listening, it was about active listening. I had to pause my assumptions and truly understand others' worldview. The feedback we gave and received reminded me that empathy is central to group creativity. For example, when the group is redefining our problem we are facing, we included user perspectives that I hadn't considered before. That made our solution stronger and more relevant. I now try to bring the empathy into every team setting I'm in the future. By Sprint 3, I began seeing that being creative isn't enough on its own anymore. Without critical thinking, creative ideas can often lack practicality. Our group initially generated a lot of ideas, but feedback showed we needed more structure. That's when we started using ideation tools like Scamper to organize and refine our thinking overall. It gave us a framework to assess the feasibility of the idea, not just only originality. This blend of creative and critical thinking has become a new personal standard for me. By Sprint 4, it taught me that iteration is where real progress actually happens. During our digital prototype testing, we received user feedback that exposed flaws we hadn't initially noticed. It was discouraging at first, but I realized that every piece of criticism we received was an opportunity instead. So instead of defending our ideas, we used the feedback to iterate and improve. This mindset shift, seeing failure as part of the creative process, made our group more agile in a sense. We adapted faster, and our solution evolved in a way that we couldn't have predicted at the time. I now see feedback loops and iteration as essential, not just optional. Sprint 5, beyond being an entrepreneur, was where I saw a big personal shift. Through the VIA character strength test, I discovered that my top strength is judgment, which means I like to think things through carefully and consider the different multiple angles. This aligns well with entrepreneurial thinking, which isn't just about taking risks, it's about making informed ones. I also scored as moderately optimistic on a learn optimism test. This helped me understand that creativity isn't a fixed trait, it's something I can develop. My Pink Time project in Sprint 6 was a major turning point. I explored the psychology of group creativity, and I learned that innovation in teams is driven by intrinsic motivation, psychological safety, and clear shared goals. This independent research taught me discipline and intrinsic motivation. I didn't do it because it was assigned, I did it because I was curious. The feedback I received for my progress validated mine. Throughout the semester, feedback has played a central role in my growth. From peers, I learned to communicate more clearly and actively in group discussions. From instructor, I was reminded to focus more and avoid spreading my ideas too thin. Our group portfolio received feedback as well that urged us to iterate more and simplify our delivery, which made a huge difference in the remaining group portfolios. I also began giving feedback to myself, asking what worked, what didn't, and why. These self-reflections became checkpoints that allow me to track my patterns. Looking ahead, I want to keep applying what I've learned here. I will bring structure creativity into future projects. I want to lead teams with empathy, making space for everyone's voice. Thank you.